Hey everyone, it's Leon, and today we're going to be playing some Summoner's War. Whoa, he's back! Yes, I know, I'm back, and I'm so excited to be doing Summoner's War stuff. Playing Monster Super League for as long a time I did, really made me miss the PvP and the Guild Wars and everything of Summoner's War. There's just so much more player cooperation, and I know that MSL has only been around, it hasn't even been a year yet. But they did a good job, but Summoner's War is, it was the original here. So anyway, I thought I'd make a video just showing you guys where I'm at with my monsters, what some of my dungeon teams are, and yeah. So let's jump into it. Okay, starting off with Giants B10. This is the team that I just figured out yesterday as I was streaming. So I have Lucian for the lead. We get the attack power for the leader skill. We have Hua, which is weird, I know. Why bring a fire monster into Giants B10? Well, we'll see in a minute. If you haven't already seen videos on this, she's great. I have Teor, and I'll show you his runes here. I recently re-runed him and put him back on Violent because he's just so good on Violent. So here's stats. I have him on Speed, Crit Damage, Attack. I'll just very quickly go through my runes. Hua, who I am going to re-rune soon, I have her on Speed, HP, Accuracy, and I use her just for the just to decrease attack bar, but I want to re-rune her so that way I can use her as an attacker for things. Okay, we don't need to see Galleon's rune, standard Galleon, build. And then here, Lucian, I have him attack, crit damage, attack, and here are his stats. So, last one, Chart, where's he at? Okay, so I have him, I put him on Violent, finally. Something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I have him on Speed, Crit Damage, Attack. Some of these, I didn't put the best runes on him, but I just want him on Violent with as much speed as he could get. So, without further ado, here we go. Okay, so we did manage to get the Galleon Transmog. Let's put it here on auto. And I absolutely love it. So, I don't have my monster speed tuned yet either. So, these runs could be a whole lot quicker than they are right now if I were just put some work into it. I don't really know what to talk about here. It's Giants, and so it's generally pretty easy. And I think this team usually does it in like a minute, 19 seconds or something. But it's just so nice because once we get to the actual boss doesn't get to move because we have Tark in there, and he can use the group up, and so Hua is speedy enough that she'll just grab that, that attack bar, and everything works out fine. Teor is obviously our main damage dealer, and it's really nice when we start off with a defense break, but we don't always get that. So we can see that Teor does a good chunk of damage, and even though we lost him right at the beginning, we can usually still pick this up just fine. So we have enough damage. So really, the only thing with this team comp that we have to worry about is the counterattacks, because that's what kills us. The boss doesn't ever get to move, but we do have to worry about the counterattacks. So we see that we got about a minute and 23 seconds, which is pretty good, I think. I haven't been back for very long, and I just found this team comp yesterday. So, okay, so here is our Dragons B10 team. Vertiheel, I'll just show all the runes really quickly. Speed, crit rate, HP, and Teor we saw. Bella, I have like 170 something speed on her. So she needs to be quicker, but I like to include her just because it's really nice. Even though we have Bellijewel, it's so nice to be able to use Seize and get that immunity off the boss, just in case Bellijewel isn't able to strip it. So and then I'll show Belligel's runes. So I put like the best runes I have on Belligel. He is one of my favorite monsters. So I have him on counterattack, speed, defense, and got a little bit of accuracy, 50% crit rate. You know, as quick as I can make him on violent, and he does pretty well. So here we go. Okay, so before, I'm using this team, and it's not an awful team. It gets the job done, and it's fairly consistent. But I used to have a quicker team, and I had Stella instead of Galleon, which didn't really make sense to me at first, but I've since unruined Stella. Not because I don't like her, she's also one of my favorite monsters in the game, but I unruined her just so that way we could put Teor back on violent. Because for those of you that have been on the channel for a while and have been with me through the past Summoners War videos, my account got hacked, and so they fed a bunch of my 5 stars, they 6-starred a bunch of things I didn't want 6-starred, and so anyway, they messed with all the runes on all my monsters, so I had to do a lot of work to get everything back to normal. And even then, we didn't get everything back the way we wanted it. So anyway, so we took Stella out, we unruined her, and put all the great violent runes on Teor. So Teor is, you know, close to 200 speed on violent, and you know, he's just so good for these things. So I think having him on violent is what really helped get the time down on our Giants team. And I like that you can basically use Teor anywhere. You know, he doesn't have the best survivability because, you know, I don't have him ruined that way. He's just a glass cannon build, but he does well. I think he does very well in these teams. So I'm still trying to figure out what exactly I want to do for a dragon speed team, because this is just not quick enough for me. It should be around a little around like 2 minutes or so. We'll see in a second. Okay, yeah, 2 minutes exactly. You know, we could mess with a speed team, but I've been playing with different combinations of things, and nothing has worked for me yet. Okay, next is our Necropolis B10 team, and I switch this one around pretty often. So I think this is what I'm doing now, but when I put Tark in here, it doesn't always work out, which is sad. But we'll go ahead and try this. I used to put Stella in here as well, but you know, it didn't really make sense because on the boss wave it kind of caps her speed and she's not as useful. But she did a lot of damage, and it was really helpful to have that Grand and defense break. So normally what happens with this team is that either Tark or Rauk will die on the Lich wave, and then at that point it's like you're at a huge disadvantage if any of your monsters die. So it's just a battle of keeping them alive on that stage, and then normally we should be fine before the boss. So I didn't show runes on my Panda, my Rauk, and my Water Cowgirl, so we might do that afterwards. But you know, Water Cowgirl, I have her for utility, so I have her like HP defense accuracy or HP attack accuracy. I know I have accuracy on her, and I just use her because she hits so many times and she has slow, which is helpful. So that way I didn't have to unruin my Hua to be able to have you know, attack speed slow in my Necropolis. Now Rauk, I have attack, crit rate attack on violent, violent revenge, and he works great. I use him in Guild Wars all the time. He is such a champion in Guild Wars. Okay, so we lost Tark. So like I was saying, it doesn't always work out. I don't know that we're going to be able to do it without him, but we'll see. So I absolutely love the Fire Panda too. Whenever I got him, I fused him, and I fed him Devilmon and maxed his skills, and I use him for raids and for Necro, obviously. Now, if I had a more reliable team, I would not mind putting the Water Cowgirl as the leader to have a little bit more attack. But as it is now, you know, we see that Tark is having enough trouble surviving as it is. So now, ideally, what I'd like to do is build a fire team, and I actually pulled the Fire Nine-Tailed Fox, and I think that would be a great unit to stick in here and have, you know, a leader skill. So it's like 40 or 44, something like that, % attack for fire monsters, which is so good. So that's one of my projects eventually. Now, let's talk about why Rauk and Tark aren't very good options for Necro. Maybe just one of them, but they have. I think Rauk has Team Up and Tark has Group Up, something like that. And whenever they get taken by the Lich, then they'll automatically use that skill. And okay, so we were able to do it without Tark, but they use that skill, and if the revive on the Lich is on cooldown, then it immediately after they steal them, they'll use that skill and it takes away one of the turns on the revive. So it doesn't always work out, but it did this time, which I'm glad. Okay, so we're gonna jump into some raids here, and I'll explain as we go. So I'm not able to do R5 yet, just because I don't have the right amount of speed on all my units. But once we load in here, I'm using a really safe team. So I use 2 healers actually. I use Emma and I use Colleen. So that helps because I'm also bringing Copper. So having Emma in the composition to get the heal, the shield, and the defense buff is awesome. So we'll go through my runes here, but real quickly, the team idea is to be super safe, and my main damage comes from, my front line. So Copper obviously is going to do the most damage with the Thundering Strike, or I think that's what it's called, Thunder Strike. And then Velajul is also, he can do damage based off defense with the Punish skill or whatever it's called. I'm still fuzzy on the skills. And it's nice to have the immunity. And then Fire Panda, obviously for debuffs, I don't have them runed for any type of damage. I have Lisa, let's check her runes. So close to 200 speed on Violent Counterattack. And I have her on, let's see, Speed, Defense, HP. Emma, I have Violent Energy. And not the best runes, but just kind of what I had. She definitely needs more speed, especially if I plan to use her for R5. And then Colleen, here's my huge issue, is because the hacker put an HP gem on 2, and I didn't think to re-rune her on free rune in the middle day. So we're missing a whole lot of speed here. Zhongfei, standard thing, full defense. Velajul we saw, and then here's the stats on my Copper. Now normally in R4, whenever he gets the buff and the raid boss is defense broken and he does his Thunder Strike, he does around 45k or something like that. So it seems like most of the time I come out on top as far as contribution through assist or damage. So it's a good overall team and it works just fine for R4. But if I want to use this team in R5, then I need to do a lot of work with gens, because I can't cut it. I don't have the speed for it yet. And this isn't my ideal Rift team. It's just kind of what I put together and what I know works. So one thing I have been playing with is putting copper in front line instead of putting him on the back line. And I'm still trying it out with him in the front line. So he did like 41,000 there, so quite a bit of damage. But I actually like him in the back line because he doesn't have that much HP, so he still dies pretty often when he's put in the front line. So I'm still kind of testing it out to see, but what I need to do is go back and change him and just put him in the back, because it doesn't make that much of a difference. Both the Fire Panda and Veligil can live just fine without him being in the front row. So I love having that attack command bringing Lisa, because not only do we get the cleanse, but we also have a chance to bring Copper with her on that, and then if he goes, then it reduces that cooldown on Thunderstrike by 1 turn, so that's really helpful too. Hopefully we'll get something nice. I've been having luck with raids today. Pretty good luck anyway. So we came out on top, and we get mana. Oh well. They got some pretty good ones. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support, and one thing is I'm trying to stream playing with maybe 3 times a week, as much as I can anyway. So I'm going to leave a link down to my Twitch channel down below, and so you can hit that. If you want, hit that little notification button. You get emails anytime I go online, because I don't know that I'm going to set up a specific schedule yet. But that's just kind of what I have been doing. I've been popping on stream, you know, here and there and here and there, and so hit that little bell notification, and you'll get an email whenever I go online if you want to hang out. So yeah, if you have any advice for me, I'd love to hear it. I haven't been back playing, you know, very long, but we recently did a TOA summoning stream because I didn't think to make a video. I wanted to, but anyway, we didn't get anything. We got pretty much nothing. So anyway, thanks again so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Or on stream.
Alrighty then.